Hey, it's Brett here from Level 99 Games. Today I'm going to give you a sneak peek at our upcoming iPad-only application, RPG Cartographer. RPG Cartographer turns your iPad into a virtual gaming table, ideal for war games or RPGs. It features an intuitive system that allows you to make maps and then play on them. You can store any number of maps on your device, and these maps are available in iTunes file sharing so that I can pull them out, share them with my friends, or back them up on my own system. So I'm going to walk through a really simple sample encounter where I set up a map for my party to fight a few ghosts in the middle of a swamp. This is the editor interface for Cartographer. The top left buttons modify the scale of the map that you're currently viewing. These next three buttons change the grid type between hex, square, or no grid at all. The lock and look button here are useful features I'll explain later. To the left are layers. You have 5 layers that you can distribute your pieces to. The trash can is useful for eliminating pieces we no longer need. The compass is what's used to navigate around the map in RPG Cartographer. In compass mode, you can drag around freely using the iPad without fear of moving your placed pieces. The scroll on the right opens the interface menu, from which we can continue editing, go to play mode, save the map and go back to the main menu, or export. When you export a map from RPG Cartographer, it's converted into print-ready pages that can be accessed through iTunes file sharing. The control here on the top left is our active piece, which we can place on the map by clicking it. Then you can move the piece by touching and dragging. We can place multiple pieces together to make a road, like you see here. So it wouldn't be much of an app if it only made roads. I'm going to go up to the atlas and pick some new pieces to add onto the map. In the backgrounds area, I can see a number of backgrounds that I'm able to use. If I pick a background, like the swamp, it changes the background here in my map. When I change layers, the layers underneath become invisible. This allows me to work on lower layers without the interference of higher ones. So, grab myself some dead swamp trees and start placing them. So, I'll get some trees along my road. But it's a little boring when the trees all look the same. So I'll scale up and rotate. It's difficult to show exactly how this works on the iPad simulator because I only get 1.5 fingers. Both of those white dots are controlled by a single mouse. On the actual iPad, you can hold one finger in place, then use your thumb or forefinger to rotate and scale the objects as you wish. With a simple 2-finger touch, I can change the object to any scale or rotation that I wish. This freedom to rotate and scale as you wish gives Cartographer's individual resources a great deal of reusability and flexibility. I'm going to create the entry point for my heroes to enter the swamp. I'll go and I'll grab a patch of land, green land. Not that green. No, this green. And I'll go down below the road layer and place it. And then stretch, and stretch some more. And I wish I was on a real iPad right now. And now it's ready. I just place it, and this is where the look tool comes in handy. Holding down on the look lets me see all of my layers at once. Very handy for placing objects, making sure that they all get in sync together. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out my road to the edge of the map so it looks just a little bit more realistic. At least realistic for an ominous road heading into a cursed swamp. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and add some swamp gas as a special effect that will obscure parts of my swamp from the party as they're adventuring through it. So I select the swamp gas, return to the menu, center, take a look to make sure that I'm placing correctly, and then drop it in. I'm in layer 5 right now. Layer 5 has 2 special properties. One is that when the PCs and monsters are walking around in the map, they'll be beneath layer 5. All the other layers they'll show up on top of. The other property of layer 5 is that it can be hidden while I'm in play mode. So when my PCs make a successful spot check, I can just eliminate the gas from the area and let them see all the monsters that are hiding underneath it. So I'll space out a few clouds of gas to add a little mystery to the area. And then I'll take a look to make sure it lines up well with the rest of the tiles in the swamp. I'm going to add a few other little interesting features. Perhaps a bush that the party's employer has asked them to find several pieces of. So I'll get my bearings straight, zoom in a little bit, and then start placing some plants. Move down to layer 4, and the gas is no longer in my way as I'm placing. And just kind of space them out here and there. And keep my finger ready at the look tool to make sure that I'm not getting too far off the beaten track. Since I haven't fleshed out the rest of the swamp very much, I don't want my PCs venturing too far off the road. And when I use the highest scale zoom out here, you can see what my entire map looks like. I could fill out the rest of the map areas, but since I'm only going to need the beaten path for this particular game, I won't bother. My PCs are only going to see the map at this scale and no larger anyway. So move over to my menu, and then I go to play. When I go to play, it automatically saves the map. Now, you can see all the pieces of my map are visible in layers, and only the 4 and 5 layers are available for choosing in the left side. The active piece has been replaced by this token character, which I can click to place. The tokens are scaled for 5 foot by 5 foot squares, but if you want your pieces a little more iconic, you might want to fill up the entire square and have even a little overlap afterwards. In play mode, the tiles that were in my atlas have been replaced by these tokens. There are over 600 tokens bundled with RPG Cartographer for you to use. I'm going to go ahead and place my party's monk over here and scale him up to match the size of the paladin. Now, this is where the lock feature comes in handy. The lock adds a snap to any rotations, scaling, or movement that you do to your tiles. Just turn it on and all your rotations will be locked to a 45-degree angle. Scales will be locked to multiples of 1. Movement will snap to the built-in square grid. So I'm going to fill out the party with a few more guys. Not pirates, perhaps a troll. So I'll put in a berserker to lead the party, or barbarian, whichever term you prefer. Scale him up, spin him around. There, doesn't he look like a paragon of leadership? And I'll put him out front, since he's obviously the toughest. And no party is complete without a squishy at the back, so I'll go ahead and add a necromancer into the back of our team. And set him up. He's very tall. There we go, that's better. And set him to the back. So I'm going to scroll forward a little bit and look further in the swamp. And now we see everything's obscured by gas. And this is where layer 5 is really handy. If I drop down to layer 4, the gas disappears and I can see what's underneath. So I'm going to make this a ghost encounter because I like ghosts. Who doesn't like ghosts? They're fun to fight, your party can't hit them, and they're generally a nuisance. I mean, what's the point of being a GM if you can't torture your party with insurmountable monsters, right? So I want to kind of hide these ghosts in the swamp gas so that when the party approaches, they don't see them, and then as soon as they wander into the thick of the gas, I turn the gas off and bam, there's ghosts there. So to make sure I get it right, I'm going to leave the swamp gas on and then move the ghost underneath to the thickest parts. Since I'm in play mode, I don't have to worry about accidentally moving the gas patches by touching them. Nothing that you set up in edit mode is editable during play mode, and vice versa. So I'm going to finish setting up these ghosts. Now my encounter's all ready. If I wanted to save here and exit, I could do so, and then I could bring up the game when my party was ready to play. I'm going to zoom out, and we're just going to take a quick jog across the rest of the swamp. Save a little bit of time here. So now the party's kind of in the thick of the swamp. Should we go through the gas, the monk says. Oh, I don't know, says the paladin. Without a thought, our orc berserker charges in, going to collect some plants. The rest of the party follows and kind of breaks up to go gather whatever they need. And suddenly, ghosts! And when one of my ghosts has been defeated, I can pick it up, drag it to the trash can, and drop it. There's probably a Scooby-Doo joke there, but I'm not going to make it. And those are the basics of RPG Cartographer. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come visit us at www.lvl99games.com. Check out this and our other gaming accessories.